In terms of the risks out there to the market, one is the lack of this deal, of course, in the short term. The other is escalating tensions with China. I mean, a year or so ago, just headlines relating to some of the things that have happened in the last couple of weeks would have spooked the markets so significantly, and it just doesn't seem to be the case anymore. What do you make of that?
So markets have been conditioned to ignore all that, and for good reason. And that is because they are confident that there's reliably ample liquidity. I think, Wilfred, what derails this market isn't more China-US tension, isn't more political differences. It would be if we get them large-scale bankruptcies. That is what derails this market. Otherwise, you have a very strong technical supporting this marketplace.
And has slightly plateauing or improving data as it relates to the virus made you feel like those bankruptcies may be held off or not?
No, unfortunately not. I think the damage done to the economy is large. I don't think that just simply leveling off in GDP growth is going to make us avoid a couple of things that I'm really worried about: long-term unemployment, and on the other hand, a series of capital impairment corporate events, bankruptcies. So no, we need growth to pick up again. We need to get back to this notion of a V as opposed to a square root where we come up and then level off.
Mohammed, what is the greatest fear about the rising number of bankruptcies? Is it the joblessness that the bankruptcies will spur, or is it the credit defaults that bankruptcies could eventually trigger?
Both. Everybody wants to avoid short-term and reversible problems becoming long-term problems that are structurally embedded in the economy. Bankruptcies go from being short-term liquidity problems to long-term solvency problems. If you get that, then unemployment becomes more problematic and you get capital impairment. And believe me, if there's one thing that Federal Reserve money cannot help markets through, is capital impairment events. So keep focus on this risk of non-payments, because that's the only thing I think at this point that derails a market that has such strong technicals.